Hello everyone, my name is Maddie and I'm currently in Year 13 at Norwich High School and I'm also part of the Inspiring Female Steering Group. Today I'm here with Raveena Ghattaura, who is a television news reporter and presenter for ITV Anglia. So Raveena, could you tell me a bit about yourself and your journey to becoming a news reporter?
Absolutely. Hi, Maddie. Just to start with, I was at university and I studied English and drama, and I'd always loved acting and loved writing when I was younger. And I did my undergraduate, and then I thought, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I know that I wanted to combine both the drama and the English, and I thought, well, I've always loved watching the news. I've been brought up in a household which has the news at 10 on every night, and I thought, do you know what? Let me try a master's in broadcast journalism, and that's exactly what I'd done. And it was one of the most best things I'd ever done. I didn't really know I wanted to do it until I'd done it, and then I ended up getting on an internship and moving to Norwich, which I never actually heard of because I'm from Windsor, which is down south. And then when I got here 5 years ago, well, I've never left, and I'm still here, and it's been a wonderful journey. I started off as an intern here on an internship, and then I went on to work on the prestigious ITV News traineeship, which was just incredible. And then I went on to get a job as a production journalist, which is working on the desk, a lot of editing, a lot of producing and creating bulletins. And then I now work as a reporter and a presenter, and I've been doing that for the last 2 or 3 years now. And it's just, when you think about it, it's so surreal, but I'm so honoured and so proud to work here because it's a brilliant job.
Yeah, well, that sounds amazing. What would you say was the most exciting part of your journey?
Yeah, I think the whole thing's been exciting. I think the best part was, well, when I first walked into the newsroom and I had my interview for the internship, and I was like, oh, it's actually a lot smaller than what I thought. There's not as many staff as you think, but everyone was so friendly, and it's just amazing to think, well, this is where, you know, ITV News Anglia is produced every single day in, day out for the last however many years, and just being in a newsroom environment is so exciting. I mean, it's demanding. There's a lot of pressure in the newsroom, but it's such a brilliant atmosphere and with such a great team. And I think one of the highlights has been when I got onto the traineeship, which would be for any female or male wanting to come and work in a newsroom. That would be the first steps to try and get yourself into a newsroom, would be the traineeship. And you know, I'd recommend it to anyone. It's the best thing I've ever done. It got me into a newsroom. It got me learning about, you know, how the news is made, how I can, you know, make a difference to the news, and also got me working on, you know, different parts of news and sport, and, you know, bringing my own ideas into the newsroom too. And I got to, you know, meet lots of people my age who are all in the same boat, had come from university, and got to go to all the different regions across the country and be taught by, you know, some of the best journalists out there. So that's definitely a highlight.
Yeah, that sounds like a fantastic opportunity. And would you say there have been the hard part of your journey? What was the most challenging?
That's a good question, actually. Well, probably one of the most challenging things would be, I guess I'm quite ambitious, and which, you know, isn't a bad thing at all. But I've always wanted to, I do something and I always think, well, what's the next thing I can do? I want to do this. I see people around me presenting, reporting, and then it's only really until recently that I realised I wanted to be in front of the camera. So I was, you know, spending a lot of my evenings a few years ago rehearsing and doing screen tests and staying after work and practicing in front of the camera. And, you know, a few times, you know, throughout my journey, my head of news would say to me, you're not quite ready yet, you still need to practice a little bit more. At the time you think, well, yes, I am ready, I think I am, but actually it was the right call at that time, because, you know, I was probably just trying to run before I could walk. But, you know, you get these setbacks and it only makes you bigger and better and stronger, and I believe it did actually. And, you know, when the time's right, when you're in such a demanding newsroom like this, the opportunities will come, you just have to wait for them.
And did you have a particular role model who inspired you towards this career?
Yeah, well, I've always watched the news when I was at home. My dad does a lot of public speaking. He used to work as a radio presenter, and we grew up watching Trevor McDonald, you know, every single day. And I guess just watching the news was inspiring. But since I've been in the newsroom here, I mean, I've had a fantastic role model, Natalie Gray, who used to be presenter and is now one of our main reporters here at ITV Anglia. And she's fantastic. She's just a bubbly, bright character. Even when she's not had the best day, she still walks into the newsroom with a massive smile on her face and just makes you feel really positive about things. And that's really important when you're in a newsroom which is so pressured to always feel positive, because sometimes you're dealing with not the most uplifting stories. So it's nice to have a role model to follow to, and make sure that you keep smiling throughout your journey here working in the newsroom.
Yeah. And what would you say is the part you love most about your job?
Oh, that's a good question. Everything, I think. I feel so privileged to do what I do. I'm 20, how old am I? 29 years old now. And, never did I think that, at this age, I'd be presenting and reporting and producing to hundreds of thousands of people every single day. But I think the biggest and the best thing about my job is I just love meeting new people. As you can tell, I love talking. I can talk for England. I love going to new places. I feel really privileged that people want to tell me their stories and confide in me and trust me to tell their stories in an accurate, honest way. And I feel like that's a brilliant part of the job. I get to go to places that I'd never been before. I've interviewed Theresa May. I've been to an Ed Sheeran concert and done a live broadcast from there, and got into places that I've never been able to do. And I've also brought my own stories to the newsroom too, which are really important to me. So it's there's so many highlights, but I just think just meeting new people, and obviously when you do go on air and you hear that 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 and you're about to go live, it is really nerve-wracking, and I do get really nervous, but the adrenaline behind it is just it's brilliant, and that's what keeps you going and makes you feel really proud.
Yes, and what would you say is the most challenging part of your job?
Yeah, every day brings a new challenge, actually. I've been here for nearly 6 years now, and there's not a day goes by that I don't learn something new, I don't come across a new challenge. But probably the pressure of working in a newsroom, we produce so many bulletins and so many programmes, every single week, and every day is a new day, and you can have breaking news that can come, that you can get breaking news, that can come to you 5 minutes before you go on air, and you have to try and deal with that. There could be a really big news story that you've been sent to, and you're really nervous about reporting on because it's such a big story. But I think just the pressures of working in such a heated environment sometimes is probably one of the biggest challenges. But with such a great team here at ITV Anglia, that everyone is here for you. If you don't know anything, there's always someone to ask, but always someone to get help from. And that's one of the biggest things that I think that everyone should remember. There's no bad thing about asking for help, because actually it will just make you better and stronger.
Yes. And how has your role changed since lockdown? Has that been one of the biggest challenges that you've faced so far?
Oh yeah, it's changed massively. I mean, never did I think that I could do my job outside of this newsroom, because obviously we've got the studios here, which we can't move outside of these four walls. But I can produce from home using my laptop. I can edit. I can write scripts. I can curate web articles. I can do stuff for social media, and I can even do a live broadcast from my own home. I did one the other week from my garden, which you'd think that's absolutely bonkers. You can't do that for a programme that hundreds of thousands of people are going to watch. But there's so much that you can do. I mean, I did a live, a few weeks ago from my next door neighbour's garden as well, and you just think, well, how is this possible? But I guess we're in such an unprecedented, surreal time that you just all sort of work together to try and make it the best it can be. And we're still a public service broadcaster, and our job is to deliver accurate and honest news and up-to-date news every single day, and that's what people want from us. So that's what we've been trying to do in the most safe way as possible. So yeah, it's almost like we can do everything now from home, of course, apart from present from the studio. So there's less people in now to keep social distancing, but I think it works actually. And the programme's been great. We've had really good feedback from everyone, and I think it's working really well.
And giving people accurate news, would you say that's the most important aspect of your job as a
Yeah.
journalist?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what, that's what we're here for. We're here to give people the most up-to-date news. And of course, coronavirus is dominating the news at the moment. We're in such a surreal time that that's all people really want to know about. So our job is our job is so important to, give viewers the most up-to-date and relevant information. And we're trying to do that the best that we can in the way that we can. And I guess, that's the most important part of that I want to contribute to our programmes too. And I just think we've got a lot of praise for our coverage as well, not just for how we've approached the issue, but also how we're making it not just so negative. We've also got a lot of uplifting, positive stories in there, which I think is really important for people's mental health at the moment, and to keep them smiling and to keep them happy, because it's a strange and weird time at the moment, but we're just trying to make it as normal as possible for people, and to give them the news that they've been watching every single day for the last how many years. So I'm really proud to be part of it. I never thought that'd be part of this, but you just sort of take each day as it comes, because every day is a new news day here, and you don't know what you're going to face the next day. So the most important thing is that we give the viewers what they want and what they want to watch.
Thank you. And what would you say are your top tips for young people who are looking to perhaps work in TV or become journalists or reporters?
Yeah, I'd say great idea. It's a great industry to work in. But probably I'd say is get yourself out there. I mean, I know work experience is hard to get sometimes, but perseverance is really key. So if you can, write to people, email people, knock on people's doors, go to broadcasters, go to radios, go to newspapers, and ask them, can you come in for a day? Can you come in for a few days? Because there's nothing like actually putting your foot into a newsroom or into a studio to see what it's really like. And once you have got your foot in the door, you're already building up those contacts. And you never know, you could possibly get a job there in the future. So I think that's really important. But also, if you do want to work in news and you do get the opportunity to come, and work here, for example, or at the BBC or anywhere, and watch the news, watch their programmes and watch their output too, because that's the most important thing. There's nothing like going into a newsroom and not knowing what the programme's about, because it makes you look like you're keen and enthusiastic as well. And I think if you like writing, do a blog about what you're passionate about online too. And social media is so dominant at the moment, so possibly use the social media platforms to get yourself out there, because that's really important too. There's so much more that you can do now, but if you show that you're keen and that you're willing, and you've got contacts, why not go in for a day, because you never know where it's going to lead you in the future.
Thank you. Those are some excellent tips. And finally, we want to empower young people to become change makers themselves. What is one piece of advice that you would offer them?
Yeah, so my one piece of advice would be to never give up. I mean, having setbacks in life is normal, but they'll only make you stronger. So that's my one piece of advice, is that never give up.
Thank you so much for doing this Q&A for us. You have given some excellent answers, and I hope it will be very inspiring and empowering for everyone to watch. So thank you, Raveena.
Oh, thanks, Maddie. You're brilliant. Thank you.